This is NerdTalk.
Hello, and welcome to Nerd Talk. I'm Mike,
I'm Kurt.
and we have our special guest, Mr. Matt Fantastic.
Hey,
So, well, how's everybody doing today?
I'm fantastic, obviously.
Yes, apparently. Yeah, things have been going good. We have a whole bunch of, we got a little news segment. I've been thinking a lot about, robotics have been showing up a lot in the news. And one of the things that's been showing up, one of the first Google cars crashed on its own, where it was actually caused by Google, and it was what was it? Yeah, it hit articulated bus because apparently nobody ever programmed that larger vehicles probably won't yield to you, so it cut them off and smacked right in the accordion thing. And then the next thing was in Georgia Tech, the University of Georgia discovered that when people follow robots, they'll follow them blindly. And so they set up this test where they gave people the impression that this robot is not reliable. So people were following the robot, into like empty rooms and into dead ends and things like that. So then they simulated an emergency, which was a fire. So they pumped smoke into the room, told everybody to follow the robot, and people just followed it blindly past clearly lit emergency exits. And it just kept getting smokier and smokier as the robot guided them towards the source of the smoke. So, and that leads me to why this is dangerous, because Boston Dynamics just released their Atlas robot. They're not released it, but they just gave a news conference. They untethered it. They used to have the entire thing with a tether to the computers that would handle all the data balancing and things like that. And then they show this. Then they show a video of them bullying this poor robot.
I'm a robot. I want a bot. No.
You know, look at him. He's doing it, and he's like smacking him in the chest and knocking the.
This is my regular Saturday night. Taunting a robot.
Oh, God. Look at this poor thing. You know, and the editor, the director's cut after this, they end up, they cut out the whole part where they steal his lunch money and stuff him in the locker.
I was gonna say that robot's in middle school, huh?
Yes. And they think this is a wise idea after all these maliciousness that robots have shown. I think that's a bad idea.
The Google robotic car thing.
Yeah.
I was reading about that also. They have a safety driver on it, and the safety driver just thought, I thought the bus was going to yield for me.
So it's not just the car they programmed to not.
Yeah. There's actually someone there just in case it starts headed towards Granny or something. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think? Do you have any robots? I mean, like, do you have like a Roomba or anything like that, or?
Technically, like a toaster is a robot. The toaster is a robot made to do one very simple task.
Well, okay. Do you have any robots that you utilize any type of AI or, use spatial tasks that can actually?
No. I keep thinking about a Roomba, but I also have too much stuff on the floor. Cables, mostly.
My cats would be terrified of a Roomba. Running around. Either that or they end up like sitting on it. Have you seen any of those videos of the cats sitting on the Roombas riding
Just like
around?
a shark.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's good.
Or the one where the cat's like riding around smacking the dog as it passes by.
I kind of want to get one of those like cat robots for like lonely Japanese people. Like it's like your friend, and it's like a cat robot. You ever seen these?
That's like the saddest thing since My Buddy. You know?
No, it's like a real thing. It's a real thing. They're like these robotic cats that like are your friend. So like if you're like it's especially for like seniors whose like spouses have passed away and stuff, and they, here's this cat, but like they're not really responsible for a cat. So it's like you can forget to like charge your cat. You don't have to worry about like it dying.
Oh, is it like trained? I mean, is it gonna leave like accidentally like drop little AA batteries in the corner?
Yeah, I don't think it does that.
Ticked off,
I saw a thing where they're taking people with Alzheimer's, and they're giving them, the babies that they use for high schoolers to teach them how to take care of a baby, to scare them of what a horrible thing it is. They're giving those to Alzheimer's sufferers, and they get so absorbed in taking care of this that it distracts them, makes them happy.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah. So that's that's sort of a robot.
Yeah, I was talking to
but
a high school teacher about that whole thing with the babies and everything like that, and I thought a better idea to scare them would have been, just to show them Eraserhead.
Yes.
So, but that's really cool. Yeah, they have.
Oh, you are sick.
Huh?
Oh, you are sick.
Yeah. So, So that's. I guess that's the news. They have a town that's set up for Alzheimer's, where they basically make it like a regular town, and they may have people come in and it gives them kind of a sense of purpose. This is getting depressing. I don't want to think about Alzheimer's.
Well, yeah. Sorry. But back to the
just forget about it.
Back to the autonomous vehicles. AAA did a survey.
Yeah.
And 75% of the people answering the survey said they would not feel safe in an autonomous vehicle. These same people, 60% of them, did say that they were okay with cars that did self-parking, emergency braking, adaptive cruise control, and lane departure warnings. So, I mean, it's a fine line there.
At that point, yes.
At that point, it's almost, yeah.
I don't know. I trust them far more than I trust the drivers. People are crazy. I drive on Route 8 every day.
It's yeah.
Yeah, and those people. Isn't there like one person who dies a month, like racing right around Seymour, where like they have those like sharp curves?
Oh, up the hill.
Yeah, like that bridge over top of, just driving down Route 8 and suddenly Seymour. That's an awful joke. God. I should be ashamed of myself for that. Okay, so
the bar is high on this program.
Something's high.
Weird thing in robot news, Mercedes-Benz.
Oh yeah.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah, they laid off robots.
They laid off robots. They're replacing robots with humans.
Again, taunting the robots is a bad idea.
Unemployed robots in Germany. They're going to be pissed off.
Pissed off German robots.
Yes. It's only a matter of time before this gets really ugly.
They're going to record a new Kraftwerk album.
That'd be awesome.
Yes, it would. Actually, I want to see a new Einstürzen der Neubauten album, but it's a whole nother German industrial band.
Yeah.
So, anyway, yeah. So that's they laid off a whole bunch of robots. Apparently, there's certain things that humans can do that robots can't.
I heard it was customization, because the customization options at the end there of the production is where they're being used, because the humans are more flexible with being able to handle all these different things that different people, rich people, want in their cars.
Ah. So that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
While the rest of us are going to just get machines that are assembled by robots, or.
Do you ever open a package and go, "Am I the first human hands that are touching this? Has it been robots the whole way?"
A lot of things, I imagine.
Yeah.
I worry about that with processed food.
Food especially.
I wonder if these Hot Pockets have ever been touched by a human being.
Well, if you're eating Hot Pockets, the answer is still no.
Yeah. The TV show How It's Made will not relieve any of those fears.
Yeah,
your food is being
hot dogs
made by robots.
Here we have a truck full of lips and assholes.
Oh,
we're not allowed to say that.
Well, I'm just glad it wasn't me.
I don't think there's anything where I've heard that during regular television.
Okay, I have no idea.
Yes, I think we're not allowed to drop the 7 deadly words.
Okay.
Yes, I think that's the
lust, gluttony. All right.
Yes. Sloth. Yeah. So Matt.
Yes.
Hey, it's me.
Yes. So tell us about Elm City Games.
All right. So Elm City Games is a game cafe that we just opened over on Chapel Street. We are partners with the Happiness Lab,
Oh, those guys are great.
And they are doing all like the coffee and cooking sandwiches, paninis, all that kind of stuff. And we're doing all the game stuff. We're super excited about it. We've been open like 10, 11 days now.
Oh, cool.
And we are doing better than we thought we were going to be 3 months in. So it's like crazy.
Oh, that's great. Well, there's a lot of people who've moved away from home, so it's kind of like being in your basement and having your mom make the coffee and the snacks for you.
Exactly. Except like the artisanal grape and like goat cheese paninis are a little bit better than chicken nuggets.
Yes.
Wow.
But it's not like crazy. It's not like expensive, which is weird. But I don't worry about that side of the business.
Yeah.
So,
I've had a lot of stuff. They have that. The coffee that they measure out and vacuum and all that stuff. It's good stuff.
Yeah. One they actually Vishal and Oni actually roast the coffee themselves. So it's like they make the coffee. Which is great.
They're good. So is it just kind of a whole bunch of games? I mean,
so we have like a massive game library. I don't know, it's probably 600-700 games.
Oh wow.
At this point, we're constantly adding to it. We have events. We have kind of just a bunch of space to play in. One of the big things too is we have people on staff that can teach you games. They can help you pick a game, can teach you a game. So a lot of people come in and they're like, oh, like I like the idea of playing a game, but like this is terrifying and intimidating. There's 700 games in here, or you go somewhere, you go to the store and you're like, I want to play a game. What's a cool new game? And you get the rule book and it's 40 pages long and super confusing, and you're just like, I am not about all this actually. And so one of the things that we're really trying to do is reduce that friction from people that would otherwise be predisposed to want to play games and enjoy games, but might be intimidated for whatever reasons, whether it's like learning the game, it's a pain, or picking a game is a pain, or just the idea of like you're going to go to this public meetup or go to this public game night or something, and there's going to be a bunch of weird nerds that are going to be mean. And we're just a bunch of weird nerds that are going to be really nice.
Oh, fantastic.
So we're really trying to foster that energy of everybody's welcome. You can come in, and if you come in and you're just like, hey, you know what? Monopoly's my favorite game. I want to play Monopoly, or I want to play Sorry, or Trouble, or whatever, or Connect 4. We have a lot of people come in and play Connect 4, which is great.
Trouble, by the way, is that what that?
It's a Sorry.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, it's actually a Sorry piece, but it's stand-in for generic game piece in general.
There's a tattoo. Yeah, can we?
I don't know if you can see
is there
this.
a chance we can get that?
Yeah,
it's really.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I got a whole bunch of D&D tattoos, and
right on.
yeah, and then I got the little Zelda hearts. And,
Sweet.
Cool.
But yeah, we just want people to come in and feel good about it, and not feel like it's going to be walking into like the Simpsons comic store guy. It's not the android's dungeon. It's the fantastic dungeon above ground.
Right on. And you publish games.
Yeah, so I also publish games as Prettiest Princess Games.
Yeah.
Is publishing. We got a couple things already out. We got a bunch more in the works.
Cool.
I brought along this Paranoia. It is a social deduction game. It's a Paranoia, vigilante justice, and bears is really the pitch. It's 60 seconds around. Everybody gets dealt a card secretly, and you don't know who you are. And it's your first day of camp. You get off the bus, and oh my God, one of you's a bear. You have 60 seconds to figure out who the bear is, or the bear eats everyone. And that's pretty much it. And there's a whole bunch of like silly stuff. In the base version, the bear can only communicate through growls and grunts because it's a bear.
Yeah.
And can't talk. But there's a bunch of bear cultists that want to trick you into thinking that they're the bear, so they're also growling and grunting. So half the table is like growling and grunting like bears, and the other half is just like, which one of these dudes do we need to murder? And it's completely ridiculous, and it's this big.
That's absolutely brilliant.
It's 18 cards and
That's-
$5. Yeah, I brought it for you guys actually.
Fantastic.
Cool.
And then we also have these promos. We have the princess and the princess bear, which are TVing. So we have the promos, and they made me a promo because I'm the prettiest princess.
Oh.
So that stuff's really cool. We got a bunch of games coming out. Like if anybody's interested in like game design or learning about playtesting or things like that, on Monday nights we have a designer and publisher meetup at Elm City Games, where if you have any interest in designing games, you can come hang out and we talk about how to design games.
That's absolutely brilliant.
There's a bunch of designers. We're doing some stuff that's a little bit more academically oriented, where we're kind of like, talking theory, but then a lot of it is just roundtable hanging out. Like, what are you working on? What are you doing? Like, oh, I have an idea for that. Like, just kind of Skillshare-y, show off what everybody's doing. And then we also, right after that, we have public play testing. So people just come out and play games that are in process. So you can see a lot of games that are not yet done, or you can see stuff right before it's ready to come out. You can have an effect on games that are getting published because you can come say, should be different. And
That's
it
great.
Yeah, it's super, super cool. I'm really, really happy with the turnout we've gotten so far, because we've had 2 kind of meetings of that group so far, and got a bunch of people, a lot of great ideas, a lot of cool stuff happening, a bunch of people with like a lot of experience, a bunch of people with 0 experience, and it's like just a great bunch of people that want to help each other out to make games.
So if I wanted to bring my jump to conclusions game, I could.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll make it better.
So that's great. That could actually, we may have to take a field trip over there, I think.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It'll be a good time. It'll be a good time.
Right on. So I see you brought something with you.
Yeah, so I brought another game. This is a game called Geek Out, and a couple friends of mine made it, and it's really great. And it's a good example I thought it was a good example for the show, and a good example of the kind of stuff that people can get into, because a lot of people think nerd games are like these super complicated, all day. I have to learn this, and it's all elves and whatever. And this is just like, it's like modern party game. There's a lot of like really great stuff going on that's super accessible. When somebody tells me they don't like games, they're a liar, because everyone likes fun. You just haven't found the right game.
Yeah.
Some people are like, oh, I don't like games, and I'm like, oh, really? And they're like, yeah, like I just play dominoes. And it's like, well, that's a game. Like that's cool. Like it's fine that you don't like everything, but everybody has something. And so this game, Geek Out, I think is perfect for us to play right now, really quickly.
Sure.
If you remember Name That Tune, the TV show.
Oh, yeah.
Where you'd say like, oh, I can name that tune in 4 bars, or I can name that tune, or 4 notes, or whatever. Yeah, 4 bars would be a long time. I hope you can name it in 4 bars. But I can name that tune in 3, 4. You're kind of like one-upping each other. So this is kind of the opposite of that, where you're going to draw cards and you're going to have stuff, and it's going to give you a thing when you're going to have to try to say, I can name more of the things on the list. So the one that I brought for us, there's stuff like, 4 films based on urban legends, or 6 musical groups that formed in the 80s, or this one I picked out for us because of the robot news, is 2 video games in which a robot plays a role. And so the starting bit is 2. And then you would say like, I can name 5, or I can name 6. And then eventually you're going to get to a number where everyone else is going to be like, you figure that out.
I'm only going with 3. I'm only going with 3.
Let's see. I'm trying to.
Wait.
They play a major role.
That play a major role.
No, it plays a role.
A role. Oh, geez, I can.
Oh, well, I know there's like the first thing that popped in my mind was Robotron.
Well, now you're giving away the bank.
I know.
See, you're already cheating. I brought up the easiest game, and you somehow managed to screw up the rules. All 2 of them.
Can't take me anywhere.
I didn't even include the like randomly rolling to see which one you have to do.
Well, we do have a collection of dice, because we do sometimes we do have to use these for just
fending things off.
Fending things off, figuring out who's going to do the show first, who's going to open the show.
Rolling for initiative. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. And now they have them where you can apparently you can dump them in salt water. Have you seen that, where they bounce the dice?
Yeah, well, that's you got to get into like that's when you get into game science dice. Captain. No, not Captain. Is it Captain? Colonel. I think it's Colonel Luzacci. He is this. You got to watch these videos. They're great. He has this one video, especially from maybe 10 years ago, and it's him like old-timey, patent medicine kind of vibe, talking about like how his dice are so precise and how imprecise other dice are. And it's really interesting, actually. It's like really, it is accurate, because they tumble those dice the way, because I also do game manufacturing, so I work in that industry, so I do know how dice are manufactured. And when they paint dice like that, what they'll do is they paint the entire dice, and then they tumble it to knock the paint off the non-depressed areas where the numerals actually are. Mm-hmm. And so what happens is a lot of the dice get rounded corners, and they start to get kind of a little more egg-shaped, so like D20s especially. So if you have like a D20 and you're like, this is a really unlucky one, or this is a really lucky one, that's probably actually true. because it's not, it's a very slight variance. And I mean, I think for most play, you're not going to need these like super precise dice.
I'm gonna get out my calipers with the dice when I get home.
Well, casino dice, it's a big thing. Like if you're playing like craps or whatever, like having actually super precise dice is
and they're clear, and they say the clear dice are the ones because you can see the imperfections in them, which is why they use clear dice when they roll, when people shoot craps.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it's like that old joke about the idiots shooting crabs and blowing a hole in the toilet. And so.
I really don't understand craps. There's like so much going on. Like I love games, and I like tried to learn craps, and I was like, I don't actually like. This is like a whole different kind of nerd.
Yeah, I mean, I have some friends who are like, mathematicians, and they stay away from that and roulette.
Yeah, craps is not a winning game. Although, like last time I was in Vegas for the Game Manufacturer Association trade show, I definitely put 50 on red and won. But I was just walking by and I was like, 50 on red, because this old hardcore band, Floor Punch, actually had a song about Atlantic City, and they sang about putting 50 on red. And so every time I see a craps table, like in the rare occasions that I do, or maybe it was roulette. That was roulette. That wasn't, what am I saying?
Yeah.
That wasn't craps. That was roulette.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. They're all the same.
Well, in roulette, you heard about these guys from MIT that had the computer?
Yeah.
And they figured out how to. They had one where you tapped your heel when they spun the wheel, and then you tapped your toe when they released the ball. And they could predict within like a certain amount of percentage accuracy where the ball was going to land.
Wow.
And they kept watching these guys win craps over and over again. And then they came up to them like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And they like, "Oh, da-da-da." And they tried to leave, and they knew something was up.
Well, casinos know that if you're actually winning, you must be cheating.
Yeah.
I think is.
yeah, that's true. And it depends on what you're winning, because I win all the time. I go, like, the penny slots are designed to win. So,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I put in like $20. Depends on where you are.
And the ones near the door, supposedly.
Yeah.
Oh, because then you come back in.
Because people come in and see these people winning it, and they get all excited and they go in.
Oh, right on.
Okay, wow.
These
These slots
really
are
crazy.
loose.
The psychology of like casinos, like the stuff that they do to like manipulate you into spending more time and money there is like really interesting. Oh, yeah, it's kind of nefarious and awful, but great.
They just need to put in more Star Wars slot machines, and that will keep me at the slots all night. I go up to Mohegan Sun.
Do they have Star Wars slot machines?
Oh yeah,
wow.
They have Star Wars. My mother kept trying to get me to play the Magical Unicorn. That was actually a good machine too.
I mean, that feels like exactly what I would play.
The Magical Unicorn. Jade Monkey. Jade Monkey is the machine. That's the one that has the payout.
I've never actually even been to Mohegan Sun.
It's
or Foxwoods.
Yeah, I don't. It's annoying because they don't have like the separate smoking is just a place where people don't smoke. It's not like closed off. It's like, So, but it's great. You just put on a $20 bill and the waitress walks by and they bring you free drinks. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. Like, yeah, I don't know. That's a whole different world. It's great. It's like I love people that are nerds. I love that there's nerds about different stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love that like there's casino nerds, and it's all like I think that's awesome. That's not my thing, but like I love that. I love when people are like just really excited about whatever it is and like want to know a lot about it and learn a lot about it and talk about it and study it and like sometimes it's like more productive. Like they're nerds about like programming or something. They're actuaries.
Well, it depends
NFL fans are just sports nerds.
Oh yeah.
Which seems a contradiction of terms, but yeah.
Fantasy football is like literally D&D, just like with more homoeroticism. Like there's a lot less. The dudes are wearing a lot tighter pants in fantasy football than D&D usually.
Yeah. Well, it's. Oh, fantasy football! All these companies got busted for those like weekly fantasy things.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like DraftKings and all that. I was going to say something about D&D. Yeah, I don't know. I've actually I should come see it because I've always wanted to do a D20 game based on the old school punk rock scene.
Oh yeah,
D20 game, and like, it's
just
like
a friend of mine actually was just talking about something like that. And it was like and he lives in the city and is like this old punk dude and used to hang around CBs and all that. And he was talking about doing like an RPG that was like, it's like 75 to 85 New York or something. It was either the title, it was a working title, and it was like, I don't know more than that, but
you're about ready to do your first big show roll. Oh, your guitar is OD'd in the bathroom. That's
Save versus heroin.
Huh?
Save versus heroin.
Yeah. Save versus or speed or whatever. Everybody's doing that time. Yeah, it's whether or not you sell out. Oh, sorry, your band sold out.
You got popular. That's terrible.
Yeah, kicked out of CBs. That's like that story about Blondie. They're doing they were just releasing Parallel Lines, and they're up on stage. They get off stage. This guy walks up and goes, "Your punk album sucks, or your disco album sucks." Yeah, they were doing punk albums before, but
that's great.
But yeah, they're that is hilarious. Yeah. So so what are your hours there over?
Well, so technically we open at 7 a.m. because we are also a coffee shop.
Oh, okay.
So you can come in and get coffee at 7 if you want to play games. We're hoping to actually have like a morning chess crew or something. People that are coming in and playing stuff all day would be great. But space is open at 7. I would say the gaming doesn't really kick off till 4 or 5 o'clock or so. And then we're there till at least 10 on the weekend. At least 10 on the weeknights and at least midnight on the weekend.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's really just a function of if there's a bunch of people in there hanging out, playing games, I'm going to probably not go home that early.
Yeah.
But, at least 2 it will be done. Have to close at 2.
Yeah.
But, we're there. I mean, we're there pretty much all the time. And that's kind of what we're hoping is to have people, different kind of crowds at different times. Like evenings, we'll just have everybody. But I think there's definitely like a interest in people that are like 5 o'clock commuters, and they're going to come by at 5:15, play a game for an hour, and then wait out traffic rather than go fight traffic driving home.
Cool. That's actually.
So we're starting to get to get a crowd of that. We're trying to get. We're about to start some after-school programs. For like neighborhood kids and just get kids in playing games, hanging out. It's a time that we're not super busy at like 3 o'clock on weekdays. So hey, like
save space.
Like let's use this space. Let's get people in here.
I'm sure there's great. A lot of kids who want to make their own games. So
yeah, there's that. Well, it's also just like getting kids in to do something like learn chess or whatever. I was a teacher in New Haven for a little bit and ran a chess program, and it was super successful, and kids loved it.
Cool.
And it was awesome to see kids getting really, really fired up, saying a lot of stuff that I'm not supposed to say on air at each other over chess.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Like, dudes getting really heated.
Oh, yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, if you ever get down to the park down in New York and in some of those chess tables.
Yeah, exactly. It was it sounded like I was watching like a basketball game.
Yeah,
but they were all playing chess.
Yeah. Oh, it's even more interesting is I live in West Haven, and you get these old guys out there on the bocce courts.
Yeah.
And you get these like 70-year-old guys getting into fist fights. It's like this leather skin because they've been spending all their time out on the beach.
That's awesome. I aspire to that. I would someday love to be like an old dude that just gets in fist fights over bocce. That would
Fantastic.
that's a good life.
All right. Well, this is thanks for coming out for us.
Thanks.
And,
Thanks a lot for coming.
This is great.
I'm glad. Yeah. And so this has been Nerd Talk. Well, hopefully we'll see you again. I'm Mike. This is
Kurt. Yeah. I've been pretty quiet this episode, but the real fast, the email address if you want to email us, nerdtalk@drosh.net. Send us some questions.
We'll be happy to answer them on air.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for coming, Matt. This is awesome. I'm gonna come down there.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah.
Come hang out.
Right.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
All right.
You guys can come out and hang out too, whichever camera it's in. There.
It's that one. That one. All right.